back. I won't lie, it's my second time doing this. The first time I recorded without any sound, so I'm a little bummed. Hope you're doing well. I'm staying after school, working late, making sure you guys get this video. We're gonna take some notes today on inequalities. Take them, make sure you got them. We're talking about two things. One word is flip, one word is rewrite. Okay? You might have to do this when you solve inequalities. We like to keep them separate in my class. You always flip whenever you divide by a negative. There you go. Flip whenever you divide by negative. You got to rewrite if x is on the right. I'm writing left-handed. I'm doing my best. Bear with me. All right? Now, this flipping happens when you divide. And when do you divide? You always divide last. So this is always going to be the last step. Okay? As the last step. You're only going to flip at the very, very end of an equation. Rewriting if x is on the right, well, you're going to know that from the very, very beginning. So this is going to be the first step. Okay. Again, we talked about this stuff yesterday. We're going to now talk about flipping or rewriting. So, first question on the notes, negative 4x is greater than 8. Sweet. Are we going to have to flip this? Are we going to have to rewrite this? First question, is the x on the right? No. I think we're good. We are not going to rewrite this. This is a not rewrite. However, look at this one. Do you see that we have the number in front of x is a negative? We're going to have to divide. We're going to have to divide by negative. This is a flip question. You're going to have to flip that sign around. You're going to start with a greater than. You're going to end with a less than. Sweet. Next question on the notes is 15 greater than 5x. Well, I'm noticing right away, where is my x? My x is on the right. I'm going to have to rewrite this. 5x, 15. I'm going to have to take this. I'm going to have to turn it around. Greater than. It's going to become a less than. And so this is a This is going to get annoying. This might be the last time I rewrite. It's going to become a W or a RW from now on. That's a rewrite question. Next one. I see negative 2 plus 3x. Negative 2 plus 3x is less than or equal to 7. This question, is the x on the left? Yes. Looks fine. I do not have to rewrite it. So no rewrite. Do I need to flip it? I'm looking at the number in front of x. It's a 3. It's a positive 3. Do I need to flip it? No. We're good to go. We can just write the word solve here. You're good. This symbol will not change at the end of the question. It will still be the same. No flipping. Sometimes you do a question and the sign never changes. Next one. 2 minus 3x. A lot of the same numbers here. Less than or equal to negative 7. Do I need to rewrite the equation? X is on the left. I'm good. Do I need to flip the sign ever? Look at the number in front of x. It's a negative 3. I'm going to have to flip this equation. When I flip it, I'm going to start off with a less than or equal to. I'm going to finish with a greater than or equal to. Now, obviously, we could solve these questions, but we're going fast. We're just trying to predict. We're just trying to see things. Next up is 3 greater than 10 plus 7x. When we have to do 3 greater than 10 plus 7x, I see the x on the right. This is going to be a rewrite question. And we're going to start off with a greater than. We're going to finish with a less than. Last one on the notes that we're doing like this, we have negative 5 less than or equal to negative 8x plus 3. We got a little bit of a challenge question for you. Do you see that this x is on the right? Yuck, I'm going to have to do a rewrite. So when I rewrite this, negative 8x plus 3 is going to go over there. Negative 5 is going to go over there, and my sign is going to flip from a less than or equal to a greater than or equal to. Awesome. Now, I know I'm going to have to do a rewrite for this question, but I'm also looking at this negative 8 and noticing, dang, I'm going to have to divide by a negative 8 as well. I'm going to have to do a flip as well. So for this, it's actually a rewrite and a flip, which can totally happen. Once you solve this question, you're going to end up with this symbol at the end, okay? You're going to start with less than or equal to. You're going to rewrite it greater than or equal to. And then you're going to flip it again. And you're going to end up right where you started. Less than or equal to, less than or equal to. Sometimes it happens. Maybe it'll happen on our graphs. Let's see what happens. All right. First question. We're going to solve the whole thing. Do you remember what this is called when you have these parentheses? In math, in algebra, when you have the number in front of the parentheses, we're going to do this type of arrow. Hopefully it's bringing the word back to you. Distribute. We're going to distribute. Remember that when we are distributing, we are using multiplying. All right? So we got to do some multiplying today. Good news is this is from the second week of school. Okay, this would be 2 times x is 2x. This would be 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, now a lot of people mess up when you get something like this and they distribute this and they forget about their negative signs. Negative 3, negative 2 makes positive 6. Negative 3 positive x makes negative 3x. All right, here we go. Questions from the notes. We got negative 2 already. We got to be careful with these negative signs. We have done these questions before. I'm not giving you a break. Divided by negative 2. Now for these questions, it is harder for us to tell right away whether it's a flip, whether it's a rewrite. So let's pause for a second. First step, always, first step, we can tell, is this a rewrite question, yes or no? Is the x on the right? We're in good shape. Rewrite, don't need to rewrite it. I think it looks good. I do need to distribute. And remember, when it comes to flipping, I'm not going to touch this sign unless it's the first or it's the last thing that we do. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to multiply, distribute, negative 2x. Negative 2 times 7 is going to be negative 14. I'm never going to change this symbol unless it's the first step rewrite or the last step divide. So it's never going to change until it's the very first step rewrite or the very last step divide. Up next, I'm going to do plus 14 plus 14. Okay, sweet. Let's give myself some more room here. That's going to be 0, negative 2x greater than or equal to 12. I'm not going to change the sign unless it's a first step rewrite or a last step divide. Now, last step divide. Last step divide, dividing by, let me make sure this looks nice, negative 2. When you divide by a negative, it is a flip. Right? So I'm going to have x negative 6. We've had greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, flip it, less than or equal to. Final answer. X less than or equal to negative 6. Now, just to practice graphing this line, 0 in the middle, negative 6 on the side, circle on top of the negative 6. We're going closed because it has an equal sign. And what direction am I going? I'm looking at this arrow and I'm going that direction. So I'm going to the left, towards the negative numbers. Sweet. Next question. Moving on. We've got negative 4, parentheses, 5 minus 3x, parentheses, less than 16. First step, rewrite. Do I have to rewrite this? No. Cool. Then I'm going to lock this in until the very end. Distribute. Negative 20. Get the negatives right. Positive 12x. Get the negatives right. I think it's looking pretty good. Let's give myself a little more room. I'm going to have to move plus 20, plus 20. That's okay. 12x less than 36. Okay, I'm still doing okay. Last step, divide by 12. When I divide by positive 12, no flip. Okay, so I'm going to leave it the same. X less than 3. And if you look at this question, less than, less than, less than, less than. Stays the same the whole time, never changes. That's okay. Can we graph this just to practice? Line that goes across, 0 in the middle. 3 is bigger than 0, so we put it on the right. Circle on top of 3. I'm going to leave it open, and I see that this arrow is pointing that direction. So I'm going left. Sweet. We got 2 more. We're cruising. We're almost done. I might get to go home sometime tonight, or maybe I'll just sleep at the school. We've got 3 parentheses 2x minus 6. For this question, right away I'm noticing, yuck, x on the right. I need to rewrite this. So, flipping this around, I'm going to rewrite this, not doing distributing yet. Rewriting it first. 3 parentheses 2x minus 6, 12. And this symbol, greater than or equal to, alligator eats the 12, less than or equal to, alligator eats the 12. Now, distribute. 6x minus 18 less than or equal to 12 plus 18 plus 18. That's going to be 0. 6x less than or equal to 30. And let's finish dividing by 6. It's a positive 6. No flip. No flip. All right. X less than or equal to 5. Lots of less than answers today, I guess, but hey, it happens sometime. All right, let's do a graph really quick. Line, 0 in the middle. 5 is bigger than 0, so we put it on the right. We put a circle, we fill it in because we have this equal to symbol here. And I see that my inequality is a less than, which means we need to go this direction. All right, very last question. Here we go. We got 6 less than negative 2 times x plus 5. We're going to have to do so. Oh, wait. Before we do the distributing, I see that we need to do a rewrite. Switch it all. Negative 2 parentheses x plus 5. 6. It's a less than. It's a greater than. It got switched. It got rewritten. Now, distribute. Negative 2x minus 10 greater than 6. I don't change the sign unless it's the very first step or the very last step. So this middle step, never, ever, ever gonna change. Plus 10. Plus 10. Give myself some more room. That's going to be 0. Negative 2x greater than 16. Finish with divide. dividing by -2, dividing by -2. When you divide by a negative, you gotta flip the sign. This is a flip. That's gonna be x, that's gonna be -8. It used to be a greater than, and now it is a less than. The prophecy has been foretold. I think every single question ended up as a less than. It happens, I suppose. All right, making a graph. Line that goes across, 0. -8 is less than 0, so we put it on the left. Open circle, leave it open because there's no equal sign. I need to go left, so I'm gonna draw my line to the left. All right, the last thing I want to point out, which isn't necessarily a question on the notes, is this symbol. We talked about this yesterday. It's an equals with a slash. It is a sign that means not equal to. It's a little bit ugly. If we think about graphing this, we're going to put an open circle for anything that's no equal sign, or we're going to put a closed circle for anything that has an equal sign. This one's a little tricky. I see the equal sign there, but the equal sign has been slashed. Okay? It literally says not equal. So we're going to stay open. Open circle. Okay? And what this means is that x is not equal to 5. It doesn't tell me anything about any other numbers. As far as I'm concerned, x could equal 4, x could equal 3, x could equal 10, x could equal 20. It says not 5. So weirdly enough, we're going to include all of these numbers, and we're going to include all of these numbers. I know that might seem a little bit crazy. This says x is not 5. So as far as I'm concerned, good, 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 good. And then when we get to 5, no good. That's why we have an open circle, so that it's not included. And then after 5, good, 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 good. That's why we have a directional, both left and right. This one, super weird. You might see it one question on a test, one question on a quiz. Super random, not that important. All right, I'm done. I'm going home. It's already midnight.